Hello everyone, welcome to the project Budget Planner. The problem statement of the application is that to take control of user's finance within minutes and enable peace of mind of the user by not getting tensed on his financial burdens, user can create a custom monthly budget to save money, manage money and track spendings of his daily expenses and finally to achieve his financial goals and also get a reminder at the same time. So this application is all in one place for a tension-free financial freedom. So in this application, we will be giving two options for the user to select few couple of wants and needs. So needs will be having more priority, and in the needs what happens is we'll be giving a priority option so that elements with having highest priority will be get allocated budget of the particular month. Now let us see some sample input and output of this application. Now you can see that in the sample input and output, this is the final output where user asks few needs and wants, and some of the needs are food, finance, water and snacks, and some of the wants are pizza and hotel. So he has given many, but according to the allocated budget, we have took only the ones which have higher priority and lesser than the allocated budget. So finally, we'll be giving the total amount of budget you have spent after the allocated budget, and he'll be also getting the savings after including the allocated budget and this monthly income. So this is the output part, and after that a list of food, finance, water, snacks will be also mailed to the particular user, and you can see that is a mail id screenshot where he got the output. So this is how it works. Now let us see the tech stack involved in this project. The tech stack involved in this project are Python. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to the project Budget Planner. In this project, we are going to divide into two sections. In the first section, we will be designing the algorithm and writing the code for it. And in the next stage, we will be integrating our code to the Gmail so that after the finishing the output, we will be passing the output through the Gmail so that the user can get the reminder through Gmail. So let me walk you through the algorithm that we are going to write now. So what happens is initially the user will start the function. So there will be a function called start, and whenever he calls the function, it will create two dictionaries and two integer variables. So there will be two variables, and is needs and wants. So the basic the motive of this project is user will be having needs and wants. So needs are the one he wants for sure, and the wants are the one that are optional. If the budget is still there, he can buy the wants. So the next two integer variables will be budget and savings. So what happens here is user will be giving a budget. Basically, if the salary of his month has 80,000 and he has a goal to save at least 20,000 of his salary, so the difference amount will be around 60,000, right? So 60,000 will be the allocated budget for this monthly planner. So this is the initial process that will be done, and after that, the basic architecture we're going to follow is as we are doing with dictionaries. Dictionaries needs a key value pair, right? So in this project, we are also going to give a priority of an item. So what happens here is whenever user gives needs and wants, he need to also give a priority to the element so that whenever we are writing the algorithm, we can sort according to the priority which has more. So we are considering 10 having the highest priority in ascending order. So 10 9 higher numbers have higher priority, and the scale of this priority will be 1 to 10. So basically in the dictionary, key will be the priority of the particular item and the value will be the name of the item and the price. So the architecture will be key and a value will be an array consisting the particular item name and the particular price of the item. So that will be the the dictionary which consists need underscore d and want underscore. So initially we will be declaring these, and by using for loops we will be reading those values. So read in the sense I'm saying input. So we will be asking input to the user by keeping few print statements and getting input from the user and storing in a better manner. So as I told you before, diff is a variable which holds the allocated budget. So allocated budget is basically his salary minus the savings he wants to his savings, like the motive, right? So we need to give an optimal output, right? So after that we got the budget, savings, need, wants, and finally the difference amount, that is the allocated budget. So the first thing should be done is sort. So basically the need of sort is, as the user gives a priority, it says that he needs this item for sure for the first having the highest priority. So we will be list down the items with the priority which having more in the first, and we'll iterate all over that, and we'll allocate budget to that particular item, and each iteration will be doing that. So let me show a while loop. So as it is a continuous process, we will be using a while loop, and in that, until the allocated budget is greater than 0, we will be allocating the money to the needs and the wants. So as the first priority will be the needs, so we will be allocate money for the items inside the needs, and until the needs dictionary is 0, length of the dictionary is 0. So if after the needs are fulfilled, we will be going to the next step, that is for the wants. Let me show you that. Now you can see that whenever in the case where if the item cost of need of the particular item is greater than the difference amount, or all the items in the needs are fulfilled, then only we will be allocating money to the items in the wants dictionary. And in the same process will be going on for the wants dictionary. Basically the highest priority will get the allocated money first. Now that after every allotment of the money, we will be printing the particular name of the item and the amount left after each iteration. And in the same manner, at every iteration we are going to store that particular element in the array, so that at the end of the process we will be sending the array to the SMTP library, which holds the Gmail. So not Gmail, I mean the mailing services. So we'll send that list and format in a better manner, and we'll be sending to the mail of the user. So this is the entire process that we are going to follow. So let us start by creating few functions, and let's get started. Now that you understood the algorithm of this project, now let us see further about dictionary. So what dictionary is? Dictionary is known as a key value pair of a comp. So let us do an example of a dictionary. Let's keep a key value pair of keys as numbers, and values as alphabet. So one is the key, A is the value. Let's give two. So what happens here is, like, keys should be unique and values can be same. Now this print, you can see that this is the dictionary. So we want to get the data in a descending order of keys. So to do that, we will be writing b equals sorted. So sorted is key function which helps us in Python to sort the dictionaries. Like want to access the A's dictionary key, we're writing A of key, so you can easily access. Now if you do that, we'll be getting an output in ascending order, but we want it in a writing equals to. So now we will be getting in a descending order. So now let us print B, and now you can see that we got an output in descending order. So this is how you get the keys of a dictionary and print it as a descending. So these concepts will be useful for our project while we are coding. Now let us cut the cells and let us jump to the code. So firstly, let us declare few variables such as need underscore d equals to dictionary. So we will be having needs and wants, right? So let us make two dictionaries of needs. So these two acts as a two dictionaries for us. Now let us run. Now let us declare some variables which holds the budget and the saving. So let us write budget. So these two variables acts for the background, how to, like, getting started whenever the budget is exceeding the savings, like when we'll be giving warnings like that. Now as we are done with this, now let us write the code for needs and wants. So let's name it as needs. And so in this function we will be taking inputs of the needs and wants and in a dictionary format. So to take an input from the user and convert it into a dictionary is bit tricky. So let us write that code. So let us keep some print statements so the user can be easily get to know what to write when. So let us keep a slash, looks good, and keep some keys of your. So this helps us to get the needs from the user. Now let us go to the next statement and let us further give some information. Like user need to give priority and name of the item and the value of the item, like price, priority, and so we'll be creating another print statement. Now let us write in this print statement, user should give the priority scaling from 1 to 10, and 10 means the highest priority, so that the user can note it out. So priority, the priority will be marked on a scale of 0 to 10, and 10 is the priority. So that the user can note it out and he'll be writing in a correct way, so and he'll get the best output. So now let us wrap the print statement. So now let us go to the the main. So what happens now? We have a needs and dictionary and wants, but we don't know how many needs or how many wants the user needs. So let us take some input from the user. So int input helps us to take integer input from the user. So let us keep a slash. Just write here the number of needs you have. So user will give a number, so that will be taking the number and using as an iterator for to get the values from the user. For each iteration we need to access the key and value pair, right? So this size variable acts so important. Now for I in range of 1 comma size. So basically the problem is like for loop starts from iterating from 0, right? Now we have kept 1 and we need to iterate at each iteration, so 1 to size plus 1. So when we are writing range function, range considers boundary values, like size plus 1 is the reason we kept this, because it slashes to slice minus 1. So the minus 1 and plus 1 will cancel and we'll be getting rise to 1 to size, so the key value pair doesn't mess up. Now let us keep a print statement and say the user that the it's like we need to get the inputs from a user in an organized way, right? So enter the number of enter the needs, need name, priority, and the cost, so that we can correctly map it. So he'll be writing enter the name, enter the need name, priority, and cost. Now let us write let us write a new function called map. Now so what happens here is need comma priority comma price equals to map. Map is a function used in Python to get a multi-integer output spacing with a space. So what happens what maps does is, so whenever you encounter like a place where you need to take multiple outputs from a single line, so we will be using map and split. So split, what happens is split takes the string input and converts into array, and array will be mapped correctly to the input. Now let us see an example what happens, like we'll get an idea, right? Let us keep a b. So if you have how, like you can keep n number of variables here too. So what happens here is that if user gives 5 variables, and 5 variables should be given here. So as in our case we will be asking only 3 variables, and we also wrote in the print statement we need 3 variables. So user will be giving us 3 variables. So abc contains inputs of 3 things, right? If you run this, it will be asking us a 3 inputs. So let's give one, we enter, and now if you print a b, I can see that you exactly got 1 2 3 as a b. So what maps does is maps the input according to the index. So after that, like, so maps basically what happens here is 1 2 3 will be in a form of a string, and string will be given to the split to convert into an array, and each index will be pointed in the array, and it will be giving to pointing each variable outside the declarations. So this is what the map function. Now that you understood how to take a multi-integer input and we have stored them in needs, priority and price. So let us need let us what happens here is now we have the need dictionary, right? Now I mean need underscore d is a dictionary, right? So we need to insert values inside the dictionary. Int of integer of the priority. So because we'll be getting as output input of a str because it handles needs, right? So needs should be in str, not an integer, right? It can't handle integer typecasting for needs. So we need to typecast the string format to integer for priority and price. So we will be doing need of int of priority. So as I told you in the algorithm also, like priority will be the key value. Key is the priority and the value will be the need name comma price. So let us follow the same. So priority will be the key equals to this is how you take a dictionary input. So need underscore d of the key name equals to the value. As I told you in algorithm, we will be taking a value as a a list. So before we have done a dictionary which has key as an element and value as an element, but in this case we'll be having key as an element and value as an array. So this is the reason I kept need int of price, as price is also is a variable which has been formatted to str, right? So we will be typecasting into integer data type. Now you have successfully have a dictionary which contains key as priority and values as a list of my enterprise. We got that. Now for the needs, right? User will be having user will get all the needs, and it will at every iteration will get the needs and it will be stored here. Now let us write the code for the wants. So let us copy the same. Let us paste it. The change will be in the place of needs. We'll be writing the same here, like as I declared before want. So want has a dictionary which contains the same. So now you can see that needs and want dictionary but have been successfully created as keys with the priority and values with the. Let us run. So this is a function, right? Doesn't give any action. Now let us see an example of what needs underscore d has. So basically let us install as a variable a with a dictionary of e as 1, values as a comma, and next key value is 2, and the priorities or the values are will be c comma d. So what I'm going to try to do is, so this is a sample dictionary which has keys as an element but values as a dictionary. So if you want to see, you can see that for I in a print a of I, so you'll be accessing the values of the keys. So values of keys in array. If you want to get the type, which type it belongs, so it can be string. I'll be having a doubt. So let us print. You can see that it's a class list. So this is how you can get a input from the user and convert into an array and place it as a value to the dictionary. So now let us wrap up this needs and wants dictionary contains both the users. So this is the first phase. Now simple that we got this variables which holds the priority, the needs and price. Now there is a need of calculation, right? So we need to categorize the variables which having more priority first and in a descending order, as 10 has the highest value. So the dictionary should be in a way where the first will be the top priority element and the least will be the less priority, so that the complexity will be decreased while we are doing the calculation. So let us do that. Let us write the function called calculation. Now let us create a variable called diff. So what happens here is basically user will be giving us a variable which contains budget and savings, right? But the allocated budget for this monthly budget planner is different, right? So we need to find out the allocated budget. So do that we'll be writing budget minus saving. So this holds the value which contains the budget and this minus deduction of budget from the savings. So this is the allocated amount which he will. So now we have the diff, right? Now let's write the calculation function. So calculation function contains two parameters, and one will be the diff and one will be the savings. So now let us write the. So what happens here is we'll be creating a variable called spent, or also it acts as an counter variable. So at every iteration we'll be checking whether the needs are like what happen, like I mean basically at every iteration we are going to find out the needs where user wants, and we'll be detecting from the difference amount where the user gave to calculate, right? So spent acts as an like a counter variable which takes care about the budget. Now let us write a print statement which says that, so this is your budget, I mean your budget needs, like needs and wants. So let us display a manner where user can easily understood his needs and wants in a form of an array. Like we'll be displaying in a horizontal way, so it looks good. So let us keep a print statement again, and let us say your need. We'll style these things later. Like I mean, we'll be keep some stars and let it looks good to the user. Now let us keep print. Your needs list will contain priority. The, now as we have given name, price, and priority. So basically what we need to do is in now we'll come the concept where the sorted needs and the sorted wants. So what basically here is sorted wants and sorted needs helps us to get the dictionary where user will be having the unsorted list of priorities. As I told you before, we'll be creating a two new variables called sorted list and sorted want. So let us add is word sorted here so that it's easy to manage it. So sorted needs as a dictionary which contains initially empty, but as we have given input from the user in the needs function which has needs, need d and want. So now let us initialize these two variables and let us write a code for it. Now let us write the code for it. So let us basically create, initialize this variable with some values, right? So what happens here is we'll be creating another need underscore k which has a duplicate values. I mean need underscore d has the original values, but to get in a descending order we'll be storing that in need underscore k. So as dictionary of key and value pairs, so let us, if we initialize the keys with a decreasing order, we'll be easily updating the sorted needed d. So need underscore key has sorted need underscore d dot key. So what I'm saying is if you sort the keys of the original dictionary and replace it with the sort needed underscore d, it will be easy. So reverse equal to, so this is for the needs, right? So now let's do the same and wants. So what happens here is again we'll be sorting keys of want. So needs needs underscore k has a list of sorted keys in descending order, and want underscore have the keys of descending order wants of keys. So now we have this, right? Now let us write a for loop for I in need underscore. So this is important, right? Now for I in need underscore key as a dictionary, I mean array of decreasing order of key. So new need underscore k as a decreasing order of keys, right? Now we will be using this sorted need underscore d to initialize the variables now. So sorted underscore d of I, as I is the, I mean need underscore dk as the keys, right? So at that particular key we will be finding the particular value inside the need underscore. So need underscore d of I. So if you write need underscore d of I, you will be accessing the value. As I told you before, whenever you give an value, I mean if you give a key, you will be getting value. So this is how you get an value from the key. So if you write this, now sorted need underscore d will contain all the mean elements in a decreasing order. So this is for the sorted one of needs, and the same for the wants. Let's write this want underscore k. In this place need we'll be writing want. Place again the same. So what I want to say is basically sorted needs want doesn't have anything initially. So first we'll be giving keys with the name using the want k, and we'll be initializing values using the want d that we have initialized before. So sorted need I and sorted need want I will have both have a sorted dictionary in a decreasing order. Now let us again go back to the calculation. Now what happens is we'll be sorting need underscore d, as needs are the ones which are important to the person. Now so now let us write the what happens here is for I in sorted needs we will be detecting amount at each time. So let us keep an if condition. If if of minus sorted underscore need of so sorted needs has a dictionary of value as an array, right? So in that array we will be accessing the first position. This is because of we have given needs wants underscore d and needs underscore d as a value pair as a array. So the price contains at the indexed first position. So this is the reason I kept I and 1, so user can easily access the value. Now we need to keep greater than or equal to 0. So what I want to say is difference is the budget we have, right? So if the budget and the wants where the needs budget minus the needs where the user wants is like greater than 0, we can easily get the money, or else that is wrong, right? If you don't have the budget but he wants the item, that is wrong, right? So we'll be checking the condition above and we'll be really deducting inside the diff. So diff equals to again diff minus the same. Now here this is the condition to go inside or not, and if that passed we need to remove from the original value. If d contains a value of 5 and the product price is 4, so at the first stage if condition will be passed, and the second case we will be deducting 4 from the diff, that is the budget allocated by the user. Now when we are allocating the budget we should also count the spent, right? So that is the reason I have given a variable called spent. So spent equals to spent plus this is the same again. So as we are deducting amount we need to add the amount which take cares about the amount that we have spent. So this is how are the needs. So needs given the first priority, so needs are fulfilled. Now let us print a statement at every time keeping amount left, so that user can take a care about how much amount is left at every needs iteration. The amount left after fulfilling your. Now let us concat sorted. Let's go a of c. So what we are going to say is I of 0 is the name, right? So when user may be confused if you give the price, so that is the reason while printing we'll be saying this particular item has been fulfilled by this algorithm. So we'll be saying sort needs of I is fulfilled. But this is okay, but what if the amount is less? We need to take care about it, right? No, in that case we'll be writing else print sorry that we are unable to satisfy our need of this particular item, and to get the item name again just sorted. Let's code d of I of 0. I of 0 is the name and I of 1 is the price. So now I have successfully deducting the amount from the allocated budget, and at the same time we are increasing the spend, so that we'll be looking out how much is at each iteration. We are printing the amount that is been deducted and the name that we have got. So what is the name is the item name, right? Like he needs some money for party for that particular budget, we'll be printing that your budget has been satisfied for this party. Now this is everything for needs, right? So now let us write the same for the wants. Now let's print that. See, let us same that we are doing for this for your wants. So as we have told, if you print like it will be easy for the user to watch it, what is next. So now in this place we need to replace needs and as want. The same here. Now there is a condition when this may occur. So as wants are the most prioritized. So if there is a case where all the money has been filled, I mean like all the money which has been spent by the user is zero now. If the DIF holds a value of zero, now why there is a need of again printing the wants, right? If the budget is done, why to again print? So let us keep a print statement. If diff is greater than zero, only we need to print the output, or else no need of, I mean like why to again confuse a user, right? So we'll just keep a print statement that we'll keep an else statement and say sorry that I mean the budget allocated by the user is finished for this month. So this is how we do that. And now there are few conditions where this code satisfies. So if you see that in this condition, if the priority, let me give an example, if the priority is of the first element is 5 and the price is 250, and the second element has a priority of 2 and but the amount is only 240. What basically want to say is, if the user allocated this month budget as 250 rupees and you have the first element, I mean amount as 260 rupees for instance, if the priority having the highest element as a priority of 10 with the cost of 260 rupees, and the next priority having 2 with the cost of 240 rupees, what happens? So basically this code works in that case where if the budget doesn't satisfy also, it removes this item and buys the second item. So this helps the user not only to consume the more amount in the needs, also takes care of the future needs. This helps where when we are dealing with many items. This is a best, I mean it helps us many times, right? If your budget is less but we have many needs, and it also categorizes correctly the need. So this is about the calculation code that we are going to add in the main. So this is about the calculation. Now let us write the inputs where user going to give the start budget. I mean we'll be gathering all these functions and keeping in a one statement, one function. So we'll be calling as in while loop. So now let us write the code for it. Now let us write the function called start. So this is a function where it gathers all other functions that we have created before, and this function also works as an infinite loop. So let us print a statement that says welcome to monthly budget. Now let us add some, I mean let us add few animations. So what I want to say is, first let us import a model called import time. So what basically I want to say is, like if you import time contains a model where it can act according. So S is a string that contains welcome to the budget planner. Now let us do one thing. So for I in S, so we can access each character in this given string. Now let us print this I after each 0.01 second. So it looks like a dynamic animation in the output. So user may feel it looks good. So let us print I comma equals to empty, and now here time dot sleep. So time is a, I mean import time module helps us to give a function called sleep, which basically adds, I mean stops at every 0.02 seconds. It's your wish. Let me keep 0.02. At every time 0.02 it will stop. So let me show you some sample output, like what how it looks. You see that now. Let me print welcome to the budget planner. It looks good. You can see that, like, I think it's more time. Let us skip 4 seconds. 0.0. It looks good. Welcome to the month budget plan. It comes in a way like it looks like a dynamic animation. So this looks good in the user interface. So having good user interface looks, if adds our value to the application. Now, as we have printed the, animation. Now let us add a condition that, like what I want to say is, like, first let us take the input from the user. That is the best thing. So budget equals to float. So the reason I wrote float is budget can be in with decimals, like with cents. So we'll be having cents, right? So in that case, we'll be having some decimals, right? So let us ask the user how much. Give me the budget. Now this is for budget. Let us ask him the savings of this month. And savings can also be in decimal, right? So let us keep again. As I have told you before, we'll be using diff equals to budget minus saving. We will be using this here. So, but diff will be activated when and only if there is a condition where if user gives 500 but he wants to save around 600, it is not possible, right? So we'll be keeping a condition where savings should be less than the budget, or else it doesn't work, right? So let us keep a condition where saving, let us keep saving less than budget. So then, and if and only if the code runs. So the after whenever this satisfies, if saving is less than budget, so this says that budget is correctly allocated and it will be easily distributed to the items of needs. And now, if this is done, let us aggregate the code that we have write before using this. So needs underscore, that will be sort. After that, after the sorted items, will be again this, and the same for the. Now they, you may ask a doubt like, how are we going to get need underscore k without, after a diff, right? So that is where we will be as we have created a function called needs underscore want, we will be using that here. So needs underscore want function will be called here so that the needs and wants will be allocated by the user. The needs underscore wants contains the input section. So whenever needs underscore wants has been called, needs underscore k and needs underscore d and wants will be also allocated, so we can easily sort the values and get the output. Now we have given the sorted, right? Now this is the time to calculate the calculations behind the logic. So we will be calling the calculation function. So this helps us to, see, here calculation function will be passing diff, the allocated budget and the savings, right? So what happens here is the sorted needs elements and sorted wants elements categorize and we'll get the output. Now calculation has been, will be deal the outputs, right? So let us run this. Now we have every function at correct place. But before running the output, let us add some styling to the, let us keep some slash and let us keep some stars so that it looks good, right? So let us add this now. As we are done with the coding section, I've added few print statements and some styling to the Python code for the better UI UX experience. Now let me walk you through the whole code. So the first thing is, as we have used the time module, I have imported time, and we have a needs dictionary and wants dictionary. Kept the same, the savings and budget, the sorted needs, sorted. Now finally you can see the needs underscore want. So what I kept is, please enter a list of your needs according to your priority. So he will be giving a list of needs according to the priority, scaling from 10 to 1. So 10 has the highest priority. After that, I have asked him a number of needs you have. So he'll be giving an input in an integer format that will be typecasted to integer, and it will be added to the size variable. So from using the size variable, we will be adding values to the needs underscore d and wants underscore d. So we can easily add the elements inside the need underscore d and wants underscore d by using the size variable. Now let's see the function. So the calculation function we have done before, basically the first line of the code will be spent. So it acts as a counter variable that it for the how much budget until we have spent, and the next statement will be a list and styled format of giving outputs as name of the item, priority of the item, and price. So here I've added a block of code that basically prints the outputs at every iteration that contains name, priority, and price. So as I told you before, to access that particular item, we will be using sorted need underscore d of the particular item for the name as it's stored in the index 0 position, which we write of 0, and the item name, I mean the number of the item, and the sorted number of one contains the price will be mapped to this, and the priority is the key, and the item name is the 0th position. So that is the reason for I in sorted needs will be in a format of a sorted array, right? That is the reason I've kept I as a print statement here. So the same applies for the wants, and save for the same block of the rest is the same which we have wrote before. So spent will be incremented, and the diff will be decremented at every iteration, and we'll be printing at each iteration what is the item that we have bought and that amount that we have left with. That if the amount is less than the needs, we'll be saying a sorry statement which says the name that can't be fulfilled. The same applies for the wants. Now let us see the calculation function. Let us see the function start. So sorry, start function is basically this. So this function contains, will call all other functions at calculation. So the first statement, as I told you, is that the time to print the statement, I mean it was of merely 3 seconds. Now we have took to three variables. Budget has the amount, original budget he has for this month, and savings is the budget which he wants to save, and the allocated budget has been stored in the diff which contains budget minus savings. Now if the savings are greater than budget, we need to say that sorry, you can't buy these items, please start the output from us. So if there is an error occur, we are again calling the same function. So this process is not recursive. So if you call a same function inside the same function, you'll be saying is as recursive, or else it's like it acts as a while loop until you give a correct output or correct input. I mean, sorry, incorrect input, it gives the it says on, it gives on printing start. If you call start, it again prints until this if condition. So until if condition is breaked, call the other function. So basically after that we'll call needs and wants function to get the values from the dictionary and input. Ask the user to input, and it will be allocated in the dictionary. And after that, as this function calculation needs a sorted dictionaries, we have sorted using a for loop, sorted key as a decreasing order. Finally we have called the calculation. So this calculation function does the necessary calculation. Final thing is we'll be printing the statement print start. Print that print start gives an animated way of welcome to the monthly budget. Give a budget of 500 rupees, the savings of 100. See that now we have the amount of remaining is 4, but at that the algorithm takes care. For suppose if you have savings as 3 savings, and let us give the name as water as the item name, and the priority is 10 as water is so important, and let us give the cost as, let us click. Basically this for loop iterates for 3 times as we have given 3. Let us give the another thing, and we give a priority of 9. Let's give a cost of And let us give the same for the next item, that is party amount. I mean, let's give a priority of, it's not too important. Let us give a priority 400. Let's give around 300. Now, please ask, please enter the values you want according to your. Basically, we have the same print statement as this is for the needs. Now we're going to ask about the wants. Now I have only two. Let's say the want. Give the priority as 8. Let's give the priority as around the next one. Same, we will give a priority of. Let's give the as a hint. Now, so you have provided all your inputs, so calculation for your finalized. So as per your given data, monthly budget as asked for. This is your needs list. Contains water with priority 10, price 9, food with priority 9. Same process for the wants. Amount left after fulfilling your needs for water is 310. At every iteration is going to print the item and the price. So for water, the amount that we have at that time is 310. After the food, it is 110. So, but for the, as we have allocated only 400 rupees, so the money has been fulfilled, and party for the money which has been allocated for party is not satisfied, exceeded our budget. So this is the final output of our project. Now that we are done with our building our Python application, now let us add an integration to the Gmail. So after the given inputs by the user, we will be resulting a list of items that he can buy for this month budget. So let us add some more features to it. So what basically it is, we will be sending a reminder through Gmail. So what happens here is, after the getting the output from the user, I mean the output, the algorithm predicts a list of items. We will be giving as an email to the user, like we will be asking user his Gmail ID, and so that we can also send the output through the Gmail. So whenever he's out, he can see the what are the list of items he need to buy for this month, and he can buy this rather remembering the all the items he needs to buy. So go to your Gmail account, and you can go to your myaccount.com.google. So here you can find this website ID. I'll post in the readme file. Go to the security section inside, and if you go down, there is an option called two-step verification. So click on that two-step verification, and here you need to click get started. Now that if you add that, you need to give your password. So give your password, and I'll meet you after adding the password. After adding your password, you can see a two-step verification. So give your mobile number and keep any of the code, it doesn't matter. So it will give you a SMS, and please write the SMS so that the two-step verification is been authenticated. So this helps us to keep us safe. So do this, and I'll do and show you the output verification. Now click on turn on. So after clicking on turn on, you can see that the two-step verification is now on. Now click on the app passwords, and you can see again it asks for account Gmail sign in. So do that, and I'll meet you again. Now Gmail will ask us to, like, why this a password. So click on the select app mail and select device as custom name, and keep it as a Python application. You can keep it as any name, and after app password click on generate, and you can see that you'll get an app password for this device is this password. So for me this is password, like, but I will be deleting this Gmail account, so make sure you create everything on your own. So after you're getting this Gmail password, I mean this is not a Gmail password, this is a password for when we are dealing with any integrations with some Python application. So you'll be getting this password, so save this in a password in a notepad, and let me see you in the Colab notepad. Now you can see a block of code that helps us to send a mail to the receiver address. So you need to write email equals to smt.smtp. So this is a Python model provided as a package. So you need to download pip install smtplib, and you should give the smtplib.gmail.com and 587, and these are the basic steps you need to do. And now here you need to use email.login. budgetcalcid@gmail.com is my email address. So, and this is the ID you are going to get whenever you generate an app password that I have shown you before how to do that. So you need to keep your mail address and this and change this password. And after that, this password basically means that not the basic password that we give. This password is generated at each instant. Like, you need to go to the my account or the settings that I mean settings. You can generate a different password as I showed before. Now you need to keep some message, right? Message from Python success, like it's a sample message, and you need to send this email. Budgetcalculator@gmail.com is is the sender address, and the receiver address is this email. So let us check and let us run this and let us check whether this email has been sent by the is it working or not. Now you can see that you got an output that closing connection. Now let us open this Gmail and let us see the out, like, did we got this message from this server, like stating message from Python as success, and the mail is from budgetcalci.gmail.com. Now let us see the output, and you can see that in my mail address you can see that I got a mail from budgetcalci.py. Now let us see the what I got in the mail. Now you can see that I got a mail from budgetcalci@gmail.com, and the output I got is message from Python successful. Now that you are able to send a message using Python script, now let us integrate with our application. So to do that, we will install an array called L and let us run this. Now, as you know that in the calculations, at every iteration, we are going to print the name of the item that you are going to buy. So before that, if we append the item name inside this array, so that it is easy to just fill the array with the items which we need to buy. So let us add this and let us paste this. So at the same way, we need to save for the wants, right? So you need to also save for the wants. So let us write the same for the wants. So in the place of need, you need to replace it want. Now that you did the significant changes, now let us run this, and to run the start, again let us run the print start application. So if you print this, you can again see the animation and the budget which is going to ask. Let us give the monthly budget as 500 and enter the amount you want to save. So let us give as 200. The needs you have is let us give us two elements: the water. Let's give priority as 10 and cost as 100. Food priority 9. Let us give as cost of, and let us say we don't have any wants. So now you can see that you got an output of the items that left after fulfilling are water and food. Now you can see that you have successfully got the items that you are going to buy this month. Now let us print L and see the output. Here you can see that it gave the L as a list which contains water and food. Now we got an array which contains water and food, right? Now let us integrate with that to the Python script which we wrote to send an Gmail. Now let us do that. Now you can see that this is the code that we have used before, but before sending that, let us do some formatting. So we can't send it like this, right? So let us format this by, let us install as a variable a equals an empty string. Now for I in L, basically what do we do is a equals to a plus, or else or else we'll install as a as a variable which contains please buy the. Now let us simply do a equal to a plus I at each iteration, and if you print a, it will work. That please buy these items for this month are water and food. So we have did a good formatting, right? Now let us pass this into the message variable and let us again run this and let us see the output. Now you can see that it gave the output, it successfully have sent a message. Now let us see in the mail address, as we have received the items or not. You can see that in my mail address, the sender is the budgetcalci@gmail.com. We have successfully got a mail that please buy this item for this our month or water and food. Now we have successfully have sent the details and what need to be buy in this month. Now let us go back to the application and let us wrap up this session. Now that you understood how to send a mail and how to get a request, like those things, how you need to generate a random password, everything. Now let us wrap up this session. So thank you.